Hey, Nico here. I'm going to show you how to unlock the Mythical Keeper achievement in Monster Sanctuary. This is part of the Forgotten Worlds update. So the first thing you got to do, if you haven't already, is you got to travel to the Magma Chamber. Just showed it on the map. And the location, if you haven't already found it, is to the right of the workshop. Now this is my party that I used. I'm going to just quickly scrub through the entire party. You can see if they are light or dark by their sprite in the upper left. Also, if you need more time to set any of this up, just go ahead and pause the video, but I'm just gonna work through it really fast. So the way I have it set up is that the backups, if one of them dies, you fill them with the character that's in the same slot. So if the Nightwing dies, you put the Cyclone in. Or if Vasuki dies, put the Diavolo in. Yeah, and here's the equipment. This equipment's not ideal. I should have focused more on defense for Vasuki because after playing through all the battles, I really didn't attack very often with him. He mostly uses the Fire Shield ability almost 100% of the time. So this is what I used. You can copy it if you want. Or you can also just do your own thing, but I would suggest focusing on defense for him to make sure he doesn't die, because he's the equivalent of your healer. So I always used the Nightwing, the Vasuki, and the Arachlich first, no matter what battle. And the first thing I do is you only get 2 moves on the first wave round. So you're always going to use defensive abilities. So with the Nightwing, you saw I used Shroud. And then with the Vasuki, you always use the Fire Shield. Unless you're down to the very last guy and your shield's full, like on all 3 of your characters, just always use Fire Shield. Then on the Arachlich, just use your blind ability. And that'll hit all 3 enemies, and you'll just keep doing this over and over, and it'll just eventually grind down the enemies. If you need to, I often use Mythic, which is the ultimate for the Nightwing on the second round, because that grants regeneration, which helps keep your characters alive, your monsters alive, and just keeps them alive longer. If you lose 1 or 2 of your monsters, just use your backups. It's gonna happen sometimes. It all depends on the monsters you're fighting. Some battles will go pretty quick. Some will be a grind. Just keep with it. Mix it up on the fly if you have to. But I was able to beat every battle on the first try using this setup. If you need help with the setup, there's a good guide. I'll link it in the description over on Steam. That's where I got the idea for this setup. And you can see on this first one, I only show 3 total battles here in the video. There was no reason to show all of them. This was over 20. It would be really long. Most people don't need that much help with it, but this first one that I show is the one where it was the hardest of the 3. They just have a lot of counters to my monsters set up and their weaknesses. So you'll see me get a few times here and lose a few monsters. But you should never, if you're doing this correctly and you have good +5 equipment and you use for your food items, try and use things that boost defense, because the main bulk of your offense is coming from the bleed and the fire, and you'll just grind down the enemy teams, and you should have no issue beating all of these battles. But that's just about it. I mean, there's not much to explain. I did the same strategy for every battle, and like I said, I beat it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you if this helped you. I'd appreciate it if you can give a thumbs up, but enjoy the video. Like I said, there's 3 full battles here, and then at the end I show what you unlock out of the chest, which is your reward other than the achievement. So, thanks for watching.
you